jurnalistim. Üstümde press game'i var. Siz jurnaliste karşı niye beni zoraklık ediyorsunuz? Niye?
These journalists in the former Soviet Republic of Azerbaijan were trying to stop the arrest of Ulvi Hasanli, director of the independent investigative website Abzas Media. 5 other members of the group have since been arrested on charges of misusing foreign currency. They are behind bars today because they dared to investigate topics like torture, corruption and environmental issues in Azerbaijan, an authoritarian state considered one of the worst countries in the world for corruption and press freedom. Abzas Media contacted the French investigative site Forbidden Stories, which recruits foreign journalists like us to carry on the work of journalists who have been arrested from outside the country. At The Observers, we focused on tensions surrounding a gold mine. June 2023. The residents of the village of Sayudlu face off against riot police. They are protesting against plans to build a cyanide containment lake by a company called Anglo Asian Mining. Anglo Asian is based in the UK, its key shareholders an Iranian-American businessman and a former US governor. Its operations are in the Gadabay district of Azerbaijan, where it runs an open-pit gold mine that uses a technique called cyanide leaching to separate the gold from the rock. The highly toxic waste, which includes cyanide and arsenic, is dumped into an artificial lake 400 meters from Soyudlu. The company's proposal to build a second reservoir infuriated the locals, says journalist Elmadin Shamelzadeh.
They were approximately 300 police officers over there, and they didn't allow the journalists who don't under control of the government. They didn't let them go to that village, and they were checking the passports, even the villagers also.
4 journalists, including 2 from Abzas Media, were detained. The Azeri NGO EcoFront says the existing reservoir is already dangerous.
Last couple of years it has been enlarged, and they have literally just dig the corners and enlarged it. This toxic water infiltrates through the rocks and everything and goes to the river and the springs. This village have agricultural life. They are taking their animals to their kettles there, like cows or sheep, whatever. But they never use the water downstream of this reservoir, because they believe that it is contaminated.
We showed the satellite images to 2 geologists. They said that digging into the hillside would bring the toxic elements into direct contact with soil below the surface, increasing the chance they could seep into the groundwater. Members of EcoFront have tried to get water and soil samples from the reservoir, but they were arrested. The company has not released details, and it's impossible to estimate the potential impact on the environment. 4 experts we consulted were sure that the proximity of the open-pit mine to the town of Gadabay exposes residents to airborne dust from the site. Local residents complain of respiratory and other diseases.
Xəstələnib bu dəqiqə öksürüyünü gətirənmək öksürür. Yarı, ondan sonra gözündən apardım, sonra xərçə xəstəliyindən zamanlarımız məhv olub gelib gözəl balam. Burada bu bizim ölmüş torpaq sahəmizdir. Bu zəhərli maddə belə bir yerdə kənd cəmaatının içində olmalı deyil. Bu istepin düzündə olmalıdır, ay gözəl balam. Belə bir yerdə olarmı? Evlərə bax, görün.
The protests in June did have an effect. The Azeri government ordered the mine to suspend its operations while outside investigators conducted an analysis of the site. Anglo Asian reopened the mine in November. They told us the analysis cleared the company of any breach of contamination regulations and confirmed the facilities adhered to international guidelines. The problem is Anglo Asian and the outside investigators have not released the results of the analysis publicly and declined to share the results with our investigation. The company has dropped its plans to build a second reservoir. They now plan to continue expanding the existing reservoir. We asked Azerbaijan's ambassador to France why journalists and activists and villagers were arrested during the protests. She said she could not provide details about legal cases that are still under investigation. Anglo Asian Mining says it ships its gold to 2 refineries in Switzerland for processing. The first, Argor Heraeus, told us they stopped working with Anglo Asian in 2021 because the mining company had not provided all required details of its operation. The MKS Pampa refinery told us they continue to work with Anglo Asian on the strength of the analyses conducted in 2023. But that is a problem, according to gold industry analyst Mark Hummel.
Le problème du devoir de diligence des raffineries, c'est qu'il repose encore beaucoup trop souvent sur la simple demande de documents auprès de leurs fournisseurs. On ne leur demande pas de faire des analyses scientifiques de la qualité de l'eau ou de la pollution de l'air auprès des mines où elles s'approvisionnent. Même quand les raffineries estiment qu'il y a des risques, qu'elles font des contrôles sur place, elles se rendent souvent pas compte du problème, car elles ne discutent pas avec les communautés locales qui souffrent des effets négatifs de cette mine.
The two refineries provide gold to companies that include Apple, Hewlett-Packard, Asus, and Tesla. They did not respond to our request for information. Our 6 colleagues at Abzas Media face up to 8 years in prison. They have had limited access to lawyers. For the rest of our investigation, including the use of torture in Azerbaijan, go to our website, observers.france24.com. I'll see you next time.